100% real blood-dripping meat.
Slaughterhouse, satisfy your instincts.
Hey y'all, Karina here, your BDMD. Have you relived the passion of Joshua yet? If that's a no, then drop everything and slip that wreath on. Now, I've come across a lot of emotionally powerful BDs in my time. Birth, death of a loved one, even rape, as horrible as it sounds. But this, wow! This is on another level, like a revelation, a true-to-life miracle. I felt like I was touching heaven, like God spoke to me. I was bawling like a baby. I'm serious. I'm telling you, it's a BD experience everyone ought to relive. Today, right now. The Passion of Joshua is already available on all feeders for only $39.99, and it's worth every penny. Be right back with more BD news from around the world after the break.
Welcome to Safe and Sound. My name is Sergeant Dobbs, and today I'll tell you how to survive on the streets of Night City. Our pal, Mr. Puggins, has plans to meet up with his friend, Mr. Pugberg. What should he remember before he sets out for the day? Most importantly, never leave home without a weapon. You never know when it might get you out of a tight spot. And before stepping paw outside the apartment, check the NCPD bulletin to see if any shootings have been reported and where. But no matter what the reports say, always steer clear of Pacifica and the North Side Industrial District. These areas don't fall under NCPD jurisdiction. Mr. Puggins is now on his way to meet his friend at a bar in Little China. As it's not too far, he's decided it's safe to walk there. But it's not long before he realizes his dog made a mistake. Unless absolutely necessary, you should never walk around Night City. Instead, use the N-Cart Metro or private services such as Combat Cab. Oh boy! Things take another rough turn for Mr. Puggins. It looks like Watson's been temporarily closed off by corporate security forces. But he's in a hurry to meet his friend, so he decides to leap over the barrier. Another mistake. Really have the right to open fire on any intruders. Instead, Mr. Puggins should call his friend and agree on a new spot to meet. When choosing a new place, Mr. Puggins must make sure to suggest a location that isn't another meeting place for gangs or other bad guys. At last, Mr. Puggins has reached his friend, Mr. Pugberg. Nice work, fellas. I sure hope they remember my advice on the way home. That's all for this episode of Safe and Sound. Stay alive out there.
Don't make trouble. Be trouble. Where there's smoke, there's fires.
Ahoy, she don't. Set sail for flavor with Capitan Caliente's world-famous tacos, now in whale size.
Good evening, Night City! Joining us in the studio tonight is Maria Jimenez, reporter for the Pacific and a cyberspace specialist. And of course, the author of her new book, The Undoing Fall of the First Net. Maria, rumor has it that you were once a net runner.
Is that right?
Well, is it true? Oh, and there it is, folks. Now, the question is, Maria, do you still go to cyberspace?
No. Promised myself I'd never set foot in there again.
And why's that?
Because I don't want to fry my brain to a crisp. Cyberspace was never safe to begin with. But after Rach Bartmoss unleashed rabbits, the place turned into a hellscape overnight.
Hell? As in lakes of fire and demons poking you with pitchforks?
No. I'm talking about malware that can flatline you in a matter of nanoseconds. AIs that creep into your brain via your connection. Data vortexes that would make a sane person lose their mind.
Sounds spooky, but someone must still be in there, right?
Probably over-chipped corpos in cryosuits using up half the energy grid. Or just crazy people.
All right, but let's say I, Ziggy Q, jacked myself into cyberspace.
Your brain would implode. Literally. The internal pressure in your head would increase 3 times over. Without a dedicated...
Let's forget about that for a sec. What would I see in those few nanoseconds before I flatline?
All depends on you. Cyberspace is data flowing straight into your brain. It bypasses all of your normal senses. Sight, touch, hearing. You'd have to visualize it somehow. Otherwise, well, you know what happens. You'd see some clouds resonating, pixels falling in a drizzle. It's hard to describe.
Fascinating. And just a tad disturbing. After all, this is cyberspace we're talking about. But us ordinary netizens, we don't have anything to worry about, right?
I think you're gonna have to reread my book, Siggy.
That I will, Maria. And everyone else watching should do the same. Maria Jimenez's book, The Undoing Fall of the First Net, available tomorrow in stores near you. Thanks for being on the show with us, Maria. Well, Night City, our time's up. Till next time.
Rage! Fury! Carnage! Through! Follow your instincts!
Ahoy, she don'ts. Set sail for flavor with Capitan Caliente's world-famous tacos, now in whale size. Welcome to Safe and Sound. My name is Sergeant Dobbs, and today I'll tell you how to live in harmony alongside the Night City Police Department. Our buddy, Mr. Huggins, is on his way to work when he notices a police cruiser flash its lights behind him. But because he's in a rush to an important meeting, Mr. Huggins decides to ignore the police. Better think twice, Mr. Huggins. Under the Safe Streets Act, the N54 Let's give him another chance. This time, he promptly pulls to the side of the road and knows to turn off his engine, rest his head against the steering wheel, and place his paws behind his head. As the police officer approaches the vehicle, Mr. Puggins decides he'd like to ask why he's been stopped. Wrong again, Mr. Puggins. It's the police who ask the questions, not you. Remember, never speak or make eye contact with an NCPD officer unless told to do so. The officer tells Mr. Puggins to step out of the vehicle, but he only moves to stand next to the car. That's not gonna cut it. In this situation, you must lie down with your face to the ground and paws behind your head. If you don't do this on your own, the officer will be forced to assist you. Excellent. The officer has finished his search, and everything appears to be in order. Mr. Puggins is free to carry on. But before hitting the road, don't forget to extend a small token of your appreciation for the police officer's service. Always follow this advice to enjoy a safe and problem-free relationship with your local law enforcement. That's all for this episode of Safe and Sound. Stay alive out there.
Kaboom! Soyasil Machistador, an explosion of taste!
Would offend.
Hi, how is everybody? Got some news with some spice. Lizzie Wizzy has just released her first BD. Yes, that Lizzie Wizzy. It's called Fracture Enough, and in it, she lays bare her heartbreaking split with Liam Northam. At first, Lizzie and Northam looked like the perfect pair, but then their little slice of heaven started to grow mold. Fracture Enough is a tumultuous journey through the superstar's sadness, disappointment, pain, and then the ecstasy when she exacts her revenge. When you feel Northam's body fall limp in your hands, with his hot blood streaking down your chrome skin, I mean, wow, preem catharsis. Fracture Enough is a brain dance masterpiece and proof that Lizzie Wizzy's genius extends far, far beyond her music. I cannot recommend it enough. Fracture Enough by the one and only Lizzie Wizzy is available on feeders now. Check it out.
Nicola!
Taste the love! Tiancha, kumquat for the soul.
Ahoy, sea dogs! Set sail for flavor with Capitan Caliente's world-famous tacos, now in whale size.
What up, Night City? We've got a great show for you today on Chip In, where we'll be testing the new Svalin Sin Skin by Militech. The Svalin 9F hit the market only a month ago, but full disclosure, I've been wearing it for a while now. Like previous models in the Svalin line, it can withstand temps of between -220 to +700 degrees Fahrenheit, and it provides excellent abrasion resistance. This Sin Skin is a perfect match for all you motorcycle nuts out there, or if you just like to play with fire. Downsides? You can't get piercings done on the 9F. That knocks it down 1 star for sure. Final verdict? 4 out of 5. That's it from me, Night City, and remember, keep on chipping in. What up, Night City? Bet you're all still reeling from that botched All Foods robbery over in Watson. And if you haven't seen it, feast your optics on this. The moves on this girl, swoosh, swoosh, slicing them up like sashimi. Now, a lot of you called and asking what kind of edge she's packing. Your girl Karina here got a mighty enhanced look, and I'm almost 100% positive they're Daikon NT Mantis blades by Arasaka. Perfect for those who put personal safety first. Not to mention discreet, too. Look. We all know Arasaka chips all its employees mid-level and up with these bad boys. They even throw in their high-sensitivity automatic defense reflexes for good measure. But you don't need to be some blue-chipped corpo to flash this kind of tech. The Daikon NT Mantis blades are available for every ordinary night citizen, long as they got deep pockets. Thanks for tuning in today, my chooms, and remember to keep on chipping in.
Night City! Tonight's guest requires no introduction as he's a staple on this show, but for tradition's sake, please welcome the star of Braindance, Rodrigo Martinez! Long time no see, Rody.
Hey, up top.
Prime Optics. Wait, don't tell me. Kuroshi?
What else? How about you? Still a Biodyne man?
Hey, if it works fine, why change it? I'd recommend the Model 300 XS to anyone in the blink of an eye. But let's get down to brass tacks. Your newest Braindance, Metal Wars, Metal Hearts, comes out tomorrow. Care to tell us a bit more?
First off, it's a masterpiece. The feeling you get as a tank driver, burning fuel in your nostrils, being one with the machine. Oh, you gotta relive it yourself. Explaining won't do it justice. I know, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so I play Luis Morales, and this is all based on a true story. Morales led the 6th Platoon of Armored Cavalry in the Battle of Ridgecrest.
If I recall correctly, the Free States outnumbered NUSA forces 6-1.
That's right, caught him in a trap. The Free States demanded an unconditional surrender, but the President Myers decided Militech, that is the NUSA, would fight to the bitter end. Picture the scene, Ziggy. You're in the desert. The sun's going down. Suddenly you see a line of Nebuto tanks, a wall of dust trailing behind them. You kiss your only picture of your wife and kids, tighten your grip on the hard leather steering grips, and then you just go. Your tank's rattling. You can feel the rocks under your treads as if you were walking over them barefoot. Explosions everywhere, shattered glass and shrapnel bouncing off the hull. I mean, it's just indescribable.
I don't know, Rhodey. You seem to be doing a pretty decent job.
Well, I'm flattered, Ziggy, but you really have to relive it yourself, really feel it.
Tell us, Rodrigo, don't you think it's a bit too soon for a Braindance like this? The war was only a few years ago. Tens of thousands of people died. Cali split into two halves. Neighbors versus neighbors, brothers against brothers.
Who am I to judge? I don't think this Braindance is meant to show one side as the heroes and the other as the bad guys. It's a story about courage, bravery, about having the taste of victory in your mouth.
Well, Rodrigo, you sure got my appetite going.
Well then, mission accomplished.
Ladies and gentlemen, Metal Wars, Metal Hearts, available in theaters starting tomorrow. We'll be right back after a short commercial break.
Kaboom! Soyasil Machistador, an explosion of taste!
When a phantom itch leads to a fatal system error, or a body, install at your own risk. Available only on Braindance stores now.
Don't make trouble. Be trouble. Where there's smoke, there's fires.
What's going on, Night City? Today I've got a special show for the media heads and the dedicated voyeur, the Dynalar TX43 Octazoom. Now, I've had my eye on these sweet optics for a while, because Dynalar's last model went way above my expectations. But will it do the same this time? Here's the scoop. The TX43 gives you 15 times higher magnification with just a tiny dip in resolution. Really useful for anyone looking to buy the premium version, which comes with a built-in brain dance implant. But probably the most important thing about the TX43 is that it doesn't have any neural side effects. This time round, the dizziness and migraines only occur when you're in motion. It's also worth mentioning that the TX43 Octazoom's got 20 different iris patterns with dope names like Zombie, Jaguar, Chameleon, and my favorite, Snow Globe. Downsides? Dynalar's policy means you'll have to give them access to any pics taken with the Octazoom for marketing or research purposes. But that's just standard procedure. Here's my verdict. The TX43's got excellent quality to price value. So this is a solid 5 out of 5. Tune in next time and keep on chipping in.
Mr.
Tiancha, kumquat for the soul.
330% of recommended daily.
Ahoy, she-dogs! Set sail for flavor with Capitan Caliente's world-famous tacos, now in whale size.
Good evening, Night City! Our guest with us tonight is Martin Coleman, an ordinary night citizen who... Well, Martin, how would you describe your situation?
Well, as you can see, I lost my arms.
A real tragedy, Martin. Was it an accident? Were you attacked by nomads?
No, nothing like that. Okay, so back in '56, I was working at New American Auto Work.
The NAA, sure. Go on.
Well, the company hit a few snags, decided to start cutting costs. One day they call us all into the break room, tell us we're inefficient, slow, weak, what have you. So they give us a choice. Either we replace our arms with Zetatech cyberware, or we get terminated. No severance packet.
And what did you do?
What anyone in my place would have done. I had 2 girls, a wife who couldn't work. I didn't have a choice. And it's not like it was free. They forced us to buy them on credit. 20-year installments, fixed to our salaries. Everything was fine at first. The arms were all right. But then a year later, NAA went under. I was out on the street. Applied anywhere I could for a job. Walked into every factory. I would have worked for any's. But there was nothing. Nada. Zilch. I started falling back on my payments. A month goes by, then the second, then the 3rd month. Then Zetatech sends its repo squad. I was on my knees, begging for another month, even a week. But they didn't listen. They tased me, ripped out my arms, and just left me there. My daughters, They...
I can tell you're still hurting. Even got some tears there. How about drying them with Militech's brand new Dropner 5X?
What? No. This isn't happening.
Oh, but it is. Ziggy Q's is where it's always happening.
I can't believe it. Ziggy, oh my God.
Got a story you want to share with the world? A tragic accident? Family drama? Don't wait. Call 1-900-ZIGGY-Q.
Taste the love!
Don't make trouble. Be trouble. Where there's smoke, there's fires.
Welcome to Safe and Sound. My name is Sergeant Dobbs, and today I'll tell you how to survive a cyber psycho attack. While out shopping, our friend Mr. Puggins suddenly hears screams and gunfire. His first instinct is to run for the nearest exit, but that would be a very bad idea. Your average cyber psycho which means outrunning is no sure thing. So, how can Mr. Puggins stay safe? He should quickly search the area for the nearest ADU, or Automated Defense Unit, and find shelter as close as he can. All ADUs are clearly marked, so you can't miss them. The ADU will activate when the first shots are fired. Its job is to protect civilians and, if possible, neutralize the crazed attacker. Mr. Puggins should stay in cover while the ADU is active. If he's not careful, he could be the victim of friendly fire. Mr. Puggins might also be tempted to call the police, but that's both unnecessary and unwise. The ADU has already notified the authorities of the attack. But more importantly, many cyber psychos have auditory implants, which means they can hear you, even when you whisper. When the police finally arrive at the scene, Mr. Puggins should not speak to them unless spoken to, and should not make any sudden movements. NCPD officers are trained to respond to any unexpected sounds and activity in high-risk situations by using live ammunition. As with the police, if trauma team medics arrive at the scene, Mr. Puggins should not speak to them or approach them. They are only there to extract trauma team policy holders. Similarly, corporate security will only defend their own employees. All others at the scene will be treated as potential obstacles to ensuring client safety. Once the police eliminate the cyber psycho threat, leave the area as soon as possible. But remember, if the attack occurred in a store or shopping mall, you're likely entitled to a discount or voucher. Don't forget to claim yours. That's all for this episode of Safe and Sound. Stay alive out there.